Well, hello there, Watchers of the Night. And we are here with 20 Sides of Failure preparing to have fun in Barovia. I am Benny, and here I have my beautiful players, starting with... Why not? We'll start in the opposite corner this week and ask the Elven Sorcerer to introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mythical, and I play Saya Sombra. And as that was already said, I am the Elven Shadow Sorcerer, and can't wait to see.
All right, then. Then we have the Human Druid.
Hello, I am Dusky B. I'm still not used to be calling a druid. Playing TS.
Okay, then. And then with that, we have our Dampier Warlock Valdis.
Hello, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood Ness, and as the DM spoke, I am Valdis, the always moody, always ready to fucking shank people, and always ready to be fabulous.
And then we have our two flower children, the twins, Aurora and Astra.
Hi everyone! I am English Ray, and this is... That's your cue.
Hello. Hello. I am Nurin Nightingale. I will be playing twin number 1, Aurora Rose, the Osmer Paladin.
And I will be playing... Oh, sorry, I thought we were doing this thing where we're going to go back and forth. And it was going to be funny and cute.
Go ahead.
And I will be just playing twin number 2, Austra Rose, who is the Isomar Cleric.
And the Paladin is more than ready to find some more beauty in this dim world.
And I'm just ready to carry on walking.
But now, we are expecting Azazel to be joining us at some point, but we don't know when that is going to be. So expect them to turn up just at some point. But where we left off last session, the party finally left the villages of Barovia, heading westward to try and make it to the town of Vallaki before nightfall. Making their way westward, their friend and compatriot that they've made along the way, Ismark Koilanovich, decided to find a friend to help escort across the plains of Barovia, and he brings along Azazel, a chipper humanoid who seems to be forever smiling and wanting to just know a little bit about the party, know their favorite foods, learn what he can about these new people. Reaching a crossroads, they find the hanging body of Caleb, one of Saya's contacts and a member of her external spy ring, answering a couple of questions whilst also creating new ones. Following the northwest path through the mountain ranges, they come across a small pool where, to the side, we find a camp of brightly dressed individuals who make themselves known as Vistani. A strange reading is had. Cards are dealt, auras read, and warnings given. You leave Ava's tent, and it's now closer to midday, but it still hasn't breached that zenith in the sky. And my question is, everyone, what are you doing?
Okay, I completely forgot that Caleb died, so just gonna point that out. I completely forgot. It's the first thing I come back to.
He obviously meant so much to you then.
No, he did. Well, he was good with the little information, you know? It's not like We're not going by backstory here, okay?
Wow.
Anyway.
I was gonna say he's a resource, not a crush.
No, literally.
Yes, exactly. He was just a resource.
A pretty resource. Do we want to bunker down here where there's more people so it's a little bit safer, or do we want to carry on? Or didn't we say that we'd reach Vallaki by nightfall?
If we moved quickly enough, yes.
Yeah, I say we keep moving. The more distance, the better.
The closer to our destination, probably the better. So I agree. I think we should keep moving.
I can agree with that.
Oh yeah, Saya's just gonna nod.
Okay.
It's easy
Do we
enough.
want to leave?
Question: is Azazel with us like now? Like how we like left game? He's there, but he's being like piloted, or is he just like gone?
No, because he promised you guys that he would help you to Vallaki. Like, he's here to escort Irina. So he is with you.
Cool. All right.
But with his customary smile and a nod, he kind of gestures an arm out to the continuation of the dirt path that heads further westward. Well, if we're leaving.
Yes, we'll take point and just start walking.
Saya knows the faster they get to a town with an actual like magic shop or someone that could possibly teach her sending, or even just buy a sending scroll, she can email back her group.
Are we just calling it emails now?
Did I say email?
Yeah.
I now love the idea of sending is just like a small screen pops up, like the time to type out 25 words.
No.
Or is it,
I'm
is
so
it email
sorry.
Is it email or is it B-mail though? Like brain mail.
Brain mail. I'm crying.
It's M-mail, magic mail.
I completely did not know I said email. Anyway, yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
You're all good.
Alright then. The dirt path continues around a bend. You're almost following the outskirts of the Seared Pool. You continue on to the west until you find what appears to be a complete chasm, arched on either side by a waterfall. Following the river to the base of a canyon, at the far end of which a great waterfall spills into a pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist. A great stone bridge spans the canyon, nearly 1,000 feet overhead. You're at the bottom of this rock face, and it just climbs above you.
Oh, lovely.
And you get to the bridge.
Aurora.
Oh, go on.
Oh, just a quick note of Aurora is gonna commit that site to memory for later for sketching.
Mm-hmm. The bridge is solid stone. And it's slick with moisture from the spray that's coming off of this waterfall, but it is safe to cross. You're not worried about slipping and falling into the water below. There are stone gargoyles that sit on the four corners of this bridge, and they're very much the medieval style. Twisted shapes of mountains again, where the waterfall hits the water out of the mountains are demons.
No way before, I guess. Just careful lot.
No harm. No harm. Until you at ahead of you. There's another set of battles. There's another fork you come to in crossroads. And here you'll find a path that is off the east, and then a path that heads west. So don't have the sign postage.
Just kind of like look to in Marina and just like, do you have that where we're supposed to go?
There's a little bit of right. Everything else, Rogue isn't most village. So you should go.
We head west.
Right?
No, you want it west. You're right first. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Then just I'll pass on and kind of keep going, just trying to press fast fucking tool.
If you're looking for just past midnight. The second set. Right. Exactly the same as the ones that you found at the edge of the death house. They do need to use some comments. Okay, rather worse for wear.
Stay the fuck away from him.
I mean, isn't this a good thing? That we're basically out of basically. Means we're on the right track, I hope. Just kind of gives Austra like a little bit of a nervous grin.
If anything, it means we're at least getting farther away from it.
Not too. I say as long as we don't check out any more abandoned houses, I think we'll be on the right track. He says with kind of like a little bit of like a wink and a shit-eating grin.
All right then.
Could check at least one more.
I'm sorry, D. It's so fucking hard to hear you.
I'm sorry. He was just saying, I think we could check out at least one more.
He kind of just gives you, like, a look and just kind of raises an eyebrow, like, would you like to be cut in half again?
No.
No.
Then I think our quota for houses is a little bit filled up, don't you think?
Okay.
Just kind of like ruffles TS's hair.
All right then. I'm assuming that you are all just walking up to the gates.
Is there
Yeah.
anything written on the gate?
Not that you can see.
Wonderful.
You just walking up to the gate.
And very similarly, when you walk up to this set of gates, they open as on command for you.
That is still very disconcerting.
Hmm.
At least shows some politeness.
Sure. Hey, welcome in. Don't move for a doorway. It'll cut you in half.
If it's magic, it's very impressive.
I don't think the doorway that cuts people in half was Strahd's design, but the gates might have been.
It's still a bit eerie. Especially since there's no wind, and how does this... Just kind of like waves his hand. Magical gate. No. Just exactly when to open.
Yeah, it's just shrugs.
Is it possible for me to roll an Arcana check to figure it out?
Well, if anything, an Arcana check would just be to tell you whether there was magic present.
Oh.
You'd have to do like a detect magic spell to see the direct magic being influenced here.
Never mind. Just kidding. Say will say, magic is mysterious. You never know. You never know what it's gonna do next.
Val kind of just shrugs and walks through the gates. Well, magic or not, we have a destination in mind.
Where do we go from here?
Following the dirt road.
Okay. As we're walking, I'm keeping eyes and ears out. Just to see if anything's odd or out of place, or we see any more ghost children.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So-
literally.
So if you want to, you can leave it up to your passive perception, or you can roll me an active perception check.
What is my passive?
Is a
Now see, my dice rolls have not been good.
If it makes you feel any better, I was also gonna see if I could see if anything's up as well. So we can do both, or we can each do one or the other, whatever you prefer.
What would you like to just like keep it, or would you try to beat it?
I mean, I was gonna roll personally.
Okay, let's just roll then. It's Dungeons and
It's-
Dragons. We have to roll some dice.
Because Val is also like trying to keep a cool head and be like, oh, there you go.
Not 20.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no!
That's so funny. Val is too busy worrying about mud getting on his fucking shoes.
They are good shoes.
And to add insult to injury, Valdez, like as you're trying to not step in any kind of like exaggerated mud puddle, you end up forgetting that there are people like walking in a clump around you, so you end up nudging someone, saying sorry, like overcorrecting, nudging into another someone and saying sorry, and eventually like backstepping, and you do regain your balance, but you just full on stomp onto Azazel's foot.
Of course, he's never gonna let me fucking live that one down, huh? He'll just swear very loudly in Elvish and just be like, God fucking damn it!
In Elvish back, just as a response, just goes language.
Yeah, Saya's just gonna look at him.
He'll just turn to Azazel and just be like, I apologize, I did not mean to do that, I promise it won't happen again.
And with that
And just kind of like,
customary smile, he just like, oh, no worries, no worries.
Val will just basically take like very large steps away and just make sure that he's a little bit more in the back of the group so he doesn't step on anybody anymore. And he kind of just like shakes his shoe out and he's just like cursing under his breath, like, are you fucking kidding me? This is the word why am I like this? I'm never usually this clumsy. And just kind of like berating himself.
Meanwhile, Austra,
Yeah,
although you don't
I don't know why I
feel
panicked.
with your natural 20, you don't feel anything like following you. There's nothing in the forest that you catch wind of. There's nothing that gives you any kind of reason to be alarmed. You do, however, notice that like since you went past the Iron Gate and you've been walking for like a good while now, there is one singular raven that has been perching on a tree, watching you go by, and then following. Flying in front of you, perching on a tree, watching you go by, and it is a very clockwork rhythm. This raven is following you.
Is it ravens or crows that are the ones that I remember, or is it both?
Is that like a question for like us to answer, or is it just you musing to yourself?
Musing to myself, but I link my arm with my sister. Do you remember if it was crows or ravens that remember if anything bad happens to them, they remember people's faces?
No.
Okay. I go to link arms with Valdez, and I ask him the same question.
I do believe it was crows, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But Val kind of like tilts his head. Is it like perched on a tree or is it like mid-flight?
It's following you as you walk along. So if Austra points it out to you...
I'm not pointing it out to anybody, this is just amusing.
Gotcha. Okay. He'll kind of like tilt his head a little bit more towards you, so it's more of like a conversation between just us. He'll kind of be like, crows and ravens never really bothered me because of Madame, but that could just be my own biases talking.
There's the party documents, where's the party documents? There's the party documents. It says wolves, bats, or dire wolves.
Did Saya hear Astra ask that question?
Nope, I have been very quiet and whispering it to them.
Okay.
Although I will say, only because there's only so subtle you can be, that you have seen Astra like kind of bobbing about the group, talking, moving to the next person, talking. It could be that she's just having conversations with people.
I go to link arms, because I'm assuming Marina and, well, Marina in quotation marks, which is what we've been calling Irina because it's our code name. Marina and Azazel are close together.
Mm-hmm.
I get in the middle of the pair of them and I link their arms. And I say really quietly, a raven is following us. And I mean, it's actually perching, watching us walk past. Then it's flying ahead of us, perches, watches us walk past it, and it just keeps going like clockwork.
Yeah, Saya's watching all this, and she's just giving Astra a what the fuck are you doing look.
I'm being friendly, leave me alone.
You do see Irina like ponder what you've said. There's a look of deep thought. And she doesn't look up, but she does keep her eyes forward with the intention of, if the raven swoops forward, she might be able to see it. Okay.
Okay.
She, after a little bit, turns to you. I'm sorry, I do not see the raven that you are talking about. Not that I distrust you. Maybe something to keep an eye on, if you can see it.
I'm going to do something that's a little bit silly again.
Just a little bit silly.
I'm just a little bit silly. And I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit and I'm gonna start doing cartwheels to get ahead of people. Like, And just just to try and get this bed to see if, like, because I'm going further ahead, to see if it's gonna itself go further ahead. Just to try and, like, follow.
Mm-hmm. How much distance are you putting between yourself and the group?
Between 20 and 30 feet.
Okay. I'm going to really quickly roll a check. Only because you're not exactly making it subtle. Okay, yeah. The raven above you sees you doing these cartwheels and starts to set off after you, but then it sees you checking. It sees you looking to see if you can see it. And that's when it knows, oh, I'm being watched in return. And it takes off, flying away from you, curving more towards the north, as it flies just across the top of the forest.
Okay, I stop cartwheeling and I go back to the group. Be like, I understand that was a little bit weird. A raven was following us. And I cannot remember if it was ravens or crows that remember faces. Thank you, Alice. Because that thing was moving like clockwork. It was watching, seeing us walk, flying ahead, setting a perch, watching us. And it knows I was watching it, and now it's gone to the north.
Maybe next time you sense someone watching us, probably not act so dramatic around it.
It doesn't know where we're going, and it's flying north itself. I got rid of it.
You think you did. You don't know.
I literally just point in the direction it flew, and it flew that way!
And
The only thing going through Saya's mind right now is, you're an idiot.
Val kind of like steps up and kind of like claps his hands like, well, all that matters is that it's gone now, and it's not watching us anymore. Beautiful acrobatics, by the way. But let's not be at each other's throats right now, because it doesn't really matter. The problem is gone, we are all safe for now, and that's all that matters. He just kind of like plasters on a very big smile and just, if it's all the same to you, I think we should keep walking. But Val will definitely be a little bit more cautious now as well. He'll try to keep his eyes towards the sky a little bit more and just try to keep it like looking with his eyes and not his head, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. You're just trying to be subtle with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You continue walking for another little bit. In your estimations, it's probably about 1:30 now. When you make a turn in the road, and now your path is heading northward.
Oh, shit.
The old road transitions here from being a winding path through the mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. In the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake, its waters dark and still. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory, atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare. Hello?
Hello?
I hear you.
Oh, there we go. I lost a connection to the music there for a second, so I got very worried.
Oh.
I was like, God, don't tell me I've disconnected.
For a second, I thought there was just another NPC just like, hello, just on the side of the road. It's like, ah, what the fuck?
I thought so too. I was about to be like, that's not good.
We're not collecting any more stragglers.
So, to clarify, below you, as you've come up a hill and cresting and over the top, you can see a town below you next to a lake. So you know that at the very least, if you keep heading north, you will reach this town, which you are assuming is Vallaki. But there is a branching path that heads to the west, and on top of a small hill, there is a dilapidated windmill.
So north is the town, west is the windmill.
Mm-hmm.
Val kind of just takes a sweep of the group with his eyes and just, please don't tell me we're checking out the windmill. Please don't tell me we're checking out the windmill. We have a job. We're not checking out the windmill.
Well, also, didn't the kids say something about a windmill? And not to, like, go near the windmill? Or did they say to go near it? They said one of them said something about a windmill? Back in the murder house?
Val will kind of just blink at Austra and kind of just like, I mean, either way, I am not going near that thing. Just, we're almost there. We're so close. If we want to check it out, we can check it out after we make sure people are safe. We have a package to deliver, in air quotes, and we should do that first. That is our primary objective.
Is this our destination, or are we still got a bit further to go?
We still have a little bit of ways until we reach the town. We can see it, it's at like the bottom of the hill type of thing, but we still have some walking to do.
I'm on Valdez's side of this. We'll make sure we get to town. We've been walking pretty much all day, so.
Maybe I have to get
Somebody
in
agrees with me.
But I'm more than happy to check out the windmill later. Especially if the kids from the murder house were talking about it.
DM, I can't find it in my notes, but I know I would have wrote it down. Did they say positive things about the windmill, or was it like negative things, or was it just like a windmill? Oh, a windmill was on their coat of arms or something, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. Ah, well done, brain. You remembered something.
And you did also find a will and a deed when you found the letter addressed to Gustav Durst from Strahd.
A deed for the windmill.
For
Yeah, I was gonna say,
a
I think we
windmill.
left those. I think we
saying
left those in there with them.
We definitely did. I don't think we took the deed.
No, but
Yeah,
I know
'cause
that
it was
you
like-
read it. I know that you read it over. So
Yeah.
that's not new information.
Val just kind of like looks over at everybody and just kind of rolls his eyes. If we absolutely must check out every little thing, can we at least make sure we get what we need to get done first? Take a little bit of rest. We've been walking all day. Maybe the next day, check it out if we absolutely have to.
I mean, I'll check it out with you if you want.
Be interested in looking around as well.
I'm also interested, but do we want a nice hot meal first?
You cooking?
I could, but I was in about more
Yes.
about the town.
Oh. I guess silence means no.
Okay, alright. Other hands, who wants to go to the windmill?
My hands are both my hands are still in the air.
Aurora just raises one hand.
TS will also raise a hand, but I'd like to go after we make it to town.
Why? Do you read the lake's heart?
No, we have precious cargo.
You're literally mocking a child
Yep, am
right
I?
now.
How are you, kid?
I'm 13.
Ah, he's halfway to an adult. Right, kid?
Why did I think you were 10?
He looks 10.
Ah, okay.
He looks very able baby.
Looks 10 is 13. Okay.
If looks could turn your age. So what's the plan?
How, like, hungry and tired are we? Because how long have we actually been walking for now? DM.
Yeah, I'm just doing maths. So
Okay.
it is now 2:30 in the afternoon. And you've been going since 8 in the morning. So the rules of D&D say that you can walk for 8 hours in a day. And you're on your 6th hour.
Okay.
So realistically, you do have the energy to explore because it's just up the hill. But then that would probably be the only thing you'd be able to explore today. And then you would have to find somewhere to rest.
So it's literally one or the other. Like, if we go to the windmill, then we kind of got to rest there. Or if we go to the town, then we've got to rest there.
Oh no, it's a thing of you can go to the windmill and then go to the town. But I would then be kind of railroading you to the town without describing too much else because you wouldn't be allowed to explore too much else. So I'm saying if you explore the windmill, that is the only thing you're exploring today.
Okay.
So we go to town first, and then windmill.
Because you have, like, technically all day tomorrow to do whatever you would like.
Do we know that this town is Vallaki, or is it somewhere else?
You technically have no idea. You haven't seen
There are
any
no
signs.
signs.
Do I know DM?
Yeah, I would say that with time and also with people poking Irina, there are only 3 villages that are inhabited in Barovia, and since you haven't made it to Crest, that has to be Vallaki.
Saya's just gonna point out wherever we go. I'm with the majority.
I agree. If you would like to check out the windmill, then we can do that. But it would be in our best interest to get what we need to get to Vallaki. In Vallaki first. Maybe take a little bit of a rest, make sure everybody's up to par, and then check it out tomorrow. It's not going anywhere. It's a windmill.
Well, you've never seen windmills fly? Man, you gotta get out more. Alright, I guess we're going to town.
Sorry.
See? I've already made them laugh. I've barely been here.
That was out of character. That doesn't count.
It counts, and you know. No, I'm kidding.
Aurora's openly laughing, though.
Okay,
No.
let's go to town.
Val will kind of just like lightly roll his eyes and just start walking down the path. Just remember, when we get there, if they do have a tavern, we can ask for a hot bath.
You take baths?
Yes, I would like to be clean, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I don't know why you're thanking me, but you're welcome.
Aurora perks up at the mention of a bath.
A bath does sound good.
Just because I don't know you guys very well, is this like a group bath thing that you're doing, or is this like a separate group?
No.
Oh, okay. You're the way you guys were all like thinking about it and looking at it, just like I got the wrong mix. It's fine. Let's just keep going.
For us, like points of thumb between the twins, cleanliness is literally close to godliness for us.
You're the wrong line of work then.
No, because adventure is also close to godliness if you can find the beauty in it.
I want to lean down because I don't think I've gotten the name for the 13-year-old. I'm like, is everything godliness to them?
Yeah.
I'll take that as a yes. Good job. I mean, you like just get huh? Huh?
What?
What?
You walking? Leave the conversation.
I mean, we'll immediately do the same thing. You just keep walking with you like nothing happened. He's gonna keep walking like he always does, just hands behind his head, just kind of whistling to himself.
Yes, is just gonna stop. He's like, nope, he's gonna keep. I'm not entertaining this. I'm not walking with this person.
Everywhere you go, I follow.
Do I see that TS is uncomfortable?
He's not uncomfortable.
Huh?
He's not uncomfortable. He's just trying to get space.
Do I notice this?
He's not hiding it. It is fairly obvious.
It's very obvious that I'm following this child.
Azazel, give him some space.
What? The kid's got space. We're outside.
Okay, let me put this another way. Get the fuck away from him.
What? You don't have to say it so mean. Gosh, I thought I was bonding. Fuck.
There's a difference between bonding and scarring.
I would say coddling, but that also works.
This kid's 13. This kid's probably seen more shit than all of us.
And
Have you
you're
grown up this young in this area?
I just got here not too long ago.
Sure then.
They got here with me. They know.
He's lying. Don't worry about it. But don't worry about it. I'm just gonna keep walking.
Anyway, Saya's gonna look at the group and go, look, I'm all for group gatherings and doing what we need to do. But now I also have a personal mission as well. So I hope that if anyone sees a magic shop or knows anyone that knows a certain spell, you'll let me know.
Well, we are heading into a new area, so maybe after we spend the night, either at an inn or if they have other accommodations, we can take a look around, see if there's anything close to a magic shop for you, and then head to the windmill.
She'll just nod to Valdis.
Val will kind of just very strained smile and good. Got some planning done and everything will be fine. We're not just walking to our deaths like last time. It's fine. He just walks down the road, like bubbling to himself, like, everything's fine. This is all fine. We're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
Alright then. Heading finally off down the road again. The trail begins to twist and turn, almost switching back on itself, harsh lefts and harsh rights, as you continue heading in a general northward direction. The path, however, does finally level out as you come to what seems to be the base of this path mountain trail. Off to your right, you begin to hear the lapping of what sounds like water. It's a little bit set off the path. You don't immediately see where that water is coming from. You do, however, see, or begin to see, breaks in the trees. And it's through these breaks that you begin to see this gigantic mountain range stretching up to the north, filling the entire vista. It's the only thing that can be seen for miles around. Following the path for another hour, you do eventually come to what looks like a fortified gate. And I will make sure that I'm on the right page so I can actually give you a correct description.
I love descriptions.
Who doesn't? It's beautiful. Here we go. The road meanders into a valley watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against its wall, as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town asleep. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are half a dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them. The wall is about 15 feet high and seems to enclose the town, its vertical logs held together with thick ropes and mortar. The top of each log has been sharpened to a point. This is definitely meant to be a defensive structure. You can see now why Ismark wanted to bring Irina to Vallaki.
It seems very, very well fortified. I guess we would kind of just make our way up to the front gate till the guards are telling us to stop and why are we here and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm. As far as you can see, there isn't a... what's it called? There isn't a lock on the gate, but there are these two guards that are standing there waiting, and now that it is daylight, they're able to see you approaching. they're definitely giving you looks as you approach. They seem to be wary. They don't immediately open the gates to you and wait for you to approach all the way before they interact with you at all.
Understandable. Kind of like as we're walking towards the gates, Val would kind of just poke Azazel, like, I'm assuming you've
what?
been here before.
Have I?
Kind of just blinks.
Have I?
That is completely up to you.
I'd say so. I feel like I've kind of traveled a bit and kind of go to and from.
Got to lay of the land a little bit.
So I'm like, yeah, sure, I've been here. I know somebody, at least literally somebody from everywhere.
Then your face would be the most well-known out of all of us.
Sure. If they ask who we are, who are we?
We are travelers, helping a friend get to safer, I guess, housing. Would be the best description.
That doesn't sound like human trafficking at all. I'm just going to walk ahead. I mean, like, what time of day is this at the end? It's like later in the day, correct?
It's now, if I did the maths right, it's now 4:30 in the afternoon.
Afternoon, sis. How's your day going for you?
They give you a look over, and
Hands in the air.
there's still that moment of suspicion. They don't automatically open up to you. Roll me a D100, please.
Absolutely.
Here comes the luck check.
D100. Boom. 51.
One of the guards takes a minute and a blink, and then just Azazel. Oh,
Yeah, it's me.
it has been a couple of years since we have seen you here. I thought you were dead.
Do I recognize them?
Not with with a distinct memory. He probably was a drinking buddy at one point.
Oh, dude, it's been a while. I know. Like, great. It's nice to see you. Like, am I cool to come in, or is there like a band or something? Give me one moment, guys. I'll grip.
I love that.
With a chuckle, the guard goes, "No ban, no ban. And any friend of yours is a friend of the town's. Just they will be your responsibility, Azazel." And with that, you all begin to hear heavy metal clanking as these gates are unbolted and swung open in front of you.
Val is definitely admiring, I guess, the gate, the fortification, being like, I see why we're here. Just looking over everything, no, that's good. I love the pikes and the heads on the pikes. That's a really good statement right there. Just going down the list of this was a good idea.
Vallaki, in general, seems to be definitely a more affluent town. You can see the immediate differences between Barovia and here. For one, a lot more of the houses are occupied and have families living. You can see them moving about in their evening business. It is spring, so technically the sun will be setting in a little bit, but it's still light enough for people to move about. The first thing you notice...
My apologies, I'm back.
No, you're okay.
Do we get further from that or no?
Only a little
No.
bit. You're now like within the gate. But the guard essentially said that if anything happens, like you cause any trouble, that they are your responsibility.
I don't know them. I'm kidding. I know you. Kind of. Don't, kid. I'm looking at you. Don't fuck around.
As you're coming in through the gate, you see the first prominent building that you see appears to be a church. It's slouching, and it looks to be centuries old. It has a bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracked, stained glass windows depicting pious saints, halos of white light and everything. A fence of wrought iron encloses a garden of gravestones next to the church, and a thin mist creeps among the graves.
So what type of tavern are we looking for?
You would know, as someone that has been here before, that the only tavern that would be willing to give you both room and board would be the Blue Water Inn.
Just kidding. There's only one here we can do it. And it's right over here.
Mm-hmm. You follow the road down. You're giving an estimation. This town is probably a mile long, so it takes you 3 hours. Is it 3 hours? No, it's 3 miles in an hour. Other way around. I got the conversions wrong. D&D math is hard. You can walk 3 miles in an hour, so then if the town is a mile long, you can do it in 20 minutes from one end to the other. But walking further along the high street, seeing more people crowding around, you do see multiple signs advertising this festival, apparently. There's people hanging up bunting, there's people like putting up posters, and it seems that this celebration is going to be called the Festival of the Blazing Sun. And it's going to be happening in the town square at some point in town. You don't actually know where the town square is yet. But it's going to be happening in 4 days.
Can we stay here long enough to go to the festival?
Wow, my musical ass just immediately went into the woods. I mean, we could. Is this the final destination, or is it crushed?
No, it was Vallaki. We just have to figure out, just kind of like tilting ahead a little bit towards Irina, like, just need to figure out where we need our cargo to be dropped off.
I knew we would reach Vallaki today, but I mean, is that literally where we drop off the cargo, or is the cargo got to go to another stop?
No, that's what he. Yeah. This is our final stop. This is where we're supposed to go.
Oh.
Because it was just the next town over, so that would be Vallaki. And as Mark said, it was well fortified and like had a lot of silver and religious implements kind of all over, and that fits the bill. So we just need to figure out where Irina, Jesus, is going to stay, and if we need to talk to like a priest or anything about it, because it was kind of just like, take Irina to this place and she'll be fine, and we were like, you got it, and we didn't ask where she was gonna stay.
I look to Irina for answers.
Well, in all honesty, the plan was a little vague. I think my brother expected us to find more on the road than just a dead wolf. But, from the sounds of it, this tavern has room and board. I can stay there until we find something a little more permanent. I could maybe
you
do
want
some
us
house
to
shopping.
find you something more permanent?
Well, I could always go house shopping.
Do you want assistance with that? We're not going to just drop you here. That would make us kind of a horrible escort.
Well, the point of this was to get me away from Strahd, and if even just sleeping for a night here takes me away from his presence, then we'll have succeeded. And
Nothing,
if
just trying to
you
drop
want to, and if you want to go exploring, like you said, you wanted to go to the windmill, and if you want to leave me in the tavern, I'm sure I'll be fine.
What we could do as well, if we were looking to see about getting extra gold, it'd be dangerous though, is going back to the murder house to get the deed for the windmill. Make sure it is the right deed. And then we could potentially sell that deed to try to get a permanent residence inside of the walls.
Val will kind of just like stare at you a little bit, open his mouth, close his mouth, and kind of give you a raised eyebrow. I do admire your enthusiasm and your creativeness, but that's going to be a hard no. I don't think I, in good conscience, would be able to allow anybody back in that house, let alone you.
We have an extra person now.
We both died in that house.
What?
Don't
This
worry
place
about it.
sounds amazing. We should definitely not go there.
Well, it's not haunted anymore, so there's that.
Yes, but we also know that if we go in there, there's only one way of getting out. And just because we leave the kids to rest doesn't mean the house is at rest.
I don't feel like having that entire incident repeated again.
Yeah, I really don't want to, have to patch everybody up and then wait an hour to see if you will breathe again or not.
Well, I, for one, don't need to breathe, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I had suggested trying to find another way out rather than going through the scythes.
Well, it was either... what is the word? I think it starts with a P when you go down the side of a building.
Abseil?
Hold on. 3 people said that at the same time. What?
Repelling?
Yes, thank you.
Abseil?
Repelling is what I was looking for, but thank you. If we didn't rappel down the side of the building, he would have bled out, pointing to TS. I would have killed you all, and this one would have died because of that, and then points to Saya.
I suggested not going through the scythes at all. No one listened to me when I suggested it, though.
Oh, the scythes. Okay, I see what you're saying. I misheard you, that's my fault. But we only had to go through the scythes. The other way was a dead end. It would have just led us back to the basement where the plant monstrosity is. At least I believe that was our only way forward.
It's in the past.
But back to the topic on hand. We are not entering that building again. If you have a death wish, then so be it. But it is not in our best interest. we can find something suitable while we go meandering around the town tomorrow. Right now, we should all just rest.
What kind of food did he serve at that tavern you're on about, Azazel?
Oh, I mean, they have like the best and the best drinks you could ever ask for.
Please tell me they have wine.
They have wine, they have beer, they have more beer, they have more wine. It's great. Don't worry about it. It's going to be perfect. Follow me.
Definitely will do.
And I'll take them to the Blue something?
The Blue Water Inn.
Blue Water Inn, that's it. I will march them off into there. But I'll... As soon as I get into... I mean, I'm sure you'll describe the area, but as soon as I kind of get to it and kind of walk through the door, I will immediately just like kind of point out an empty table and then walk up to the bar.
Mm. You do actually walk for a good 10 minutes to get more into like a central bit of town. But right there on the crossroads is the Blue Water Inn. Grey smoke issues from the chimney of a large 2-story wooden building with a stone foundation and sagging tile roof, among which several ravens have perched. A painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall. From the outside heading in, you can see that there is... Yeah, so as you're walking up, you can see that there is a well that is like for property and for water and cleaning and so on. But there is also an outside staircase that leads up to the 2nd floor. Assuming you just walk through the front door.
Walk through the front door and they're like, ah, paradise.
All right then. Damp cloaks hang from pegs in the entrance portico. The tavern is packed with tables and chairs with narrow paths meandering between them. A bar stretches along one wall under a balcony that can be reached by the wooden staircase that hugs the north wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east. All the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars. Lanterns hanging above the bar and resting on the tables, and they bathe the room in a dull orange light and cast shadows upon the walls, most of which are adorned with wolf heads mounted on wooden plaques. You can see behind the bar a woman. She looks to be late 30s, early 40s. Dark black hair with a shock of grey straight down the middle that has been pulled up into like a bit of a messy bun. Wearing simple peasant's clothing with a little bit of design that has been added to it. You can see that she might be one of the more wealthier families in this place, where her clothing isn't just drab cotton. There is actually detailing to it, puff sleeves, dresses, brooches, and her hair has actually been pinned in multiple places by black feathers. This woman is the one behind the bar. Because of the time of day that it is and the place is getting later, there are actually multiple patrons that have already set themselves up for an evening of drinking. Doing a quick tally around the room, you see like 5 commoners that are just sat there. You do also see... there we go. You do see 2 men off to the side. Gruff clothing, full of wool and shelters. One of them holding a massive, like well-built, powerful longbow and a quiver to the back. Their clothing seems to be made of like patched together leathers and pelts. What you would consider like what's the word? I'm stuttering a lot tonight. Traditional, like hunters' garbs. They've definitely made their own clothing. But they're quite happily sat off to the side drinking. I'm gonna say, who else is there? But at the moment, there doesn't seem to be anyone else of note.
I'll look for a comment up in the table, but like, you guys want to sit there? You want a beer? You want a beer? You want wine? You want a beer? You want, I'm assuming, wine?
Wine would be wonderful.
I'll take a whiskey.
Whiskey? Oh, girl, you look... I like it. Anybody else?
They have either juice or milk.
Copy that. Juice or milk?
Wine sounds good.
Wine. Anybody else? All right then. I'm gonna go ahead and head to the front bar and to the lady like, "Hello, gorgeous. How's your evening going for yourself?"
With a little bit of a sarcastic scoff, she does give you a smile. And goes, "Oh, it will be going so much better, and especially now that you're here."
Well, I would be alive. That's the first time I've heard that. But I'd also be lying if it was the first time I knew it wasn't a lie. I need crap, I forget. Do you have milk or juice? That's the weirdest one. I'll go with that one first.
We can do a milk.
Good milk. What is it from?
Goat.
Perfect. Okay, just want to make sure it wasn't something weird. Let's do a pint of milk. Let's do 2 glasses of wine. Do you have any type of good, like... it's not good dwarven whiskey. Do you have, like, any, like, house whiskeys?
Unfortunately not. The only thing that we have at the moment is wine.
You don't have beer or ale?
Not at all.
What happened?
Unfortunately, we are awaiting a shipment from the brewery, and it has not arrived yet.
Is it delayed?
Which is the worrying bit.
When was it supposed to be here?
You can see her, like, doing the maths in her head. It's only half a day's journey on foot, even less since they would have had the wagon. We're expecting them for a couple of days now.
That's not a good start. Fair enough. I'd offer, but I don't know if those... And he just points to the freaks behind him that just sat down. I'm not sure if they're willing to do this. We're on kind of thing in general. That's fine. Just how about you... I'm assuming you have bottles of wine then?
I can do wines, and I can do either glasses or bottles.
Okay. What kind of wine do you have?
Well, we have the less expensive grape mash number 3, or I can do for you the slightly more expensive Red Dragon Crush.
Well, the Red Dragon just has a name that flows out the mouth. How much is the Red Dragon bottle?
For a cup, and she holds out, like, essentially what would be like a pint flagon. That will be a silver.
Silver, and then...
So for the
Yes,
bottle, I'll say 5 silver.
5 silver, so there's 5 drinks in silver. Sure, let's do it. Let's go 1 goat's milk. Wait, how much is the goat's milk?
Oh, we'll say that that's it. 2 copper.
How about, what will the gold get me then?
A gold? Well, that would get you the bottle, the goat's milk.
And a second bottle.
Mm. You know what? Trade is trade. Yes, it'll get you 2 bottles and the goat's milk.
Done! This is why you're beautiful and they aren't. Alright, here's a gold.
And she takes it from you and does the cheeky but joking thing of like putting it between her teeth just to make sure it's real.
Trust me, I have no idea if it is or isn't, so I'd be offended if you didn't.
But she puts it in a little bag behind the deck and goes into the back and brings out 2 wine bottles. And she hands them to you.
Is it possible I can get some glasses from you, miss?
Of course. And she does a very quick counting how many people are at the table and brings out enough cups for all of you to at least have one.
Beautiful. Oh, no. You gotta happen warm. No, I don't think. Maybe he's a cold milk. You a warm or a cold milk guy? I'll be yellow with you.
Just shrugs.
That's not an answer. Use your words.
Either is fine.
You sure? You sound very. You don't sound very confident.
Either is fine.
Alright, that's fine. You just give me room temperature. We'll go in the middle.
Well, it'll be a little warm since it'll be coming fresh, but I'll be back with that.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Do you want it straight from the nipple or glass fine?
Glasses preferred.
He's lying, but we'll take the glass.
I'll be back with the milk in a second. And
I'm
she
gonna walk.
sweeps out.
I'll go ahead and take the 2 bottles and glasses, and I'll put one in front of them. Everyone, they did have whiskey. They don't have ale. They only have wine, so I bought 2 bottles. Your milk is on the way straight from the tit.
Neat.
Val is just staring at the wine bottles, like, with stars in his eyes.
You okay with that?
Saya's gonna take the bottles and start just assuming Aziza also brought over glasses.
Yep.
Yeah, Saya will start pouring for everyone. And distributing glasses to everyone too.
Well, thank you, Little Bat. Much appreciated.
I think nothing of it. You just owe me.
Just kind of points to Saya. I was talking to her, but thank you as well. Because he was getting the glass handed to him.
That's no thanks needed. Trust me, I know what I do right here around here and what I do wrong.
Val kind of gives him a little bit of a small, cheeky smile and just, like, nods.
What do you do wrong?
A lot of things. What don't you do wrong?
Hopefully a lot of things.
Good for you. Proud of you, bud. Keep that roll going. Big, bright future things for you.
Yes, it's just
And the awkward.
you see.
See, aren't we just, this is just great, long travel, wine, great conversation.
Val kind of is, like, swirling the wine in his glass a bit as he, like, takes a sip and kind of raises an eyebrow to you. Like, conversation.
Why you look at me like that, Bug Eyes? I mean, Val. Roll.
He kind of narrows his eyes a little bit at you. Val is perfectly acceptable, but we haven't really talked much, so I wasn't sure what conversation you were talking about.
The Connie do with your... well, no, that could be construed because we have you two. And he just points over to the twins. Just the normal kind, you know? I'm human, you're human. Well, humanoid, I should say, because, he just gestures to you.
Val kind of smiles at you in a way that kind of shows off his teeth a little bit. You're
Yeah.
about halfway there.
There you go. See, 50% is more than I got in life, so look at me go. This wine is... Well, it's actually a little bit disappointing. But it's wine, it's alcoholic, and, you know, it's great. Great, this is awesome. Good job getting her here, and this has been a real treat.
Is Irina still with us? Or did she get her own room and, like, rest?
Oh no, because it's not even evening yet, she is still down there with you.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, good job, like, you know, even though she's there, I was kind of just like, good job, you know, getting her here.
You would hear, the rattling from upstairs, like a key is locking a door. And you can hear, like, the floorboards above you creaking as someone is making their way downstairs to you.
I will glance at the stairwell to see who's coming down. Maybe they'll be more interesting.
So, coming down to join you is a very colourfully dressed half-elf bard.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Full tassels, patches
Okay.
of clothing, very haphazardly dressed. It seems it's very much like a bit from here, a bit from there, like patched together to just make some kind of an outfit. But he comes on down with a very big smile, seeing you all here. He's just like, new faces.
Do coin purses. That's how the saying goes, doesn't it?
Potentially where you are from, sir, but not from me. Good afternoon, everyone. You must be new.
Nah, I've been here. They're new, though.
Pleasure. My name is Rick Tavio. And he, like, holds his hand out to shake everyone's hand.
How are we spelling that one?
Like these.
Aurora very
Thank you.
eagerly reaches out to shake his hand.
But, slightly older half-elf, like, you can see the signs of age starting to prick, like a little bit of a crease in the crow's feet. But he gives you a smile that's as big, broad, and beaming. There's Rick Tavio, at your service.
I will point out that when he tries to puts a hand out to shake Saya's hand, Saya doesn't shake his hand. Just kind of blinks and looks at him.
It seems to just kind of roll off of him, like when you don't accept the immediate handshake, he just moves on to the next person.
Yeah, I offered it to him and give him a shake and kind of clap him on his shoulder.
Oh, do not mind me. I've been here for a month or so, making good use out of the Martikovs' hospitality. You must go over and say hello to the Martikovs. They are the, I believe you refer to them as landlady, as she, you watch as the barkeep comes back over with a wooden cup that she places on the table in front of you, TS.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And she leaves the table to go back behind the bar as she's serving other patrons. And I would say TS, as Rictavio begins to go into like a little bit of a spiel about himself, you see two dark-haired boys, not that much younger than you, running around the bar. tugging at the barkeep's skirt, diving into a back room that you can't see into, coming back out, running around. Not disturbing patrons per se, but they're definitely raucous, but having a wonderful time with it. And the woman behind the bar, like, every now and again she does try to get them to settle down, but they maybe do for like 5 minutes and then immediately they're running back off.
I'll take note of that. Just sit tight and indulge in his glass of milk.
Hot, fresh. Admittedly, every now and again, like, you do feel a little bit of hair touch your tongue, so that's how you know it's fresh.
Milk.
But yes, for everyone else, Rictavi is yes, I've been here for about a month now. I originally came here trying to find people to add to my travelling circus. And as you can see, it's not going very well.
I can't promise a circus, but my sister is quite talented as an acrobatics and fire dancer.
Just has been drinking this one this whole time, and like, you know, when you drink and somebody says something to you, you go like a little bit. Yeah.
And I can play the lyre and sing.
Well, feel free to give me the night off. Essentially, I don't have much of a circus anymore, but I earn my keep telling stories to the bar and keeping the patrons entertained in the evenings. I'm sure that if you ask either of the Markovs, they'd be quite happy to let you take the reins for the night. They probably had enough of my stories.
I would be glad to if my sister would like to as well.
What are we doing?
Possibly performing for the night.
Obviously, if you
Sure.
need time to prepare, you don't have to right now. I'm just saying that if you talk to the Markovs and need gestures to the barkeep, like, you know, they probably would be more than welcome.
She just turns this pair of like big hopeful eyes to Austra, just like, can we?
I look to you and I just go, give us like half an hour. We have to bathe, and then we'll get ready, and then we'll come down if you settle it up with the barkeep.
Ah, well, if you're wanting to bathe, then you'll probably have to pay for a room.
Excuse me. And I just go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora will follow, because room and bath.
How much is it for us to get a room and a bath?
Would you be wanting separate rooms, or would you be wanting the same room?
What's the price difference?
Oh, well, it would just be the thing of, like, you paying for one room or two. So with one room, it would be an electrum. For one room, it would be an electrum. For 2 rooms, it would be a gold.
What is the conversion from silver to electrum?
5 silver to 1 electrum.
I was going to say,
Oh,
electrum for real money purposes is the equivalency of like a 50p.
oh, okay.
So if the silver is a 10p, electrum is a 50p.
Okay, I have 5 10p's. So I look to my sister and I go, I can afford the 1 room.
I can afford a room for both of us. For if we would like our own rooms.
We're twins. At this point, we've shared everything together. Might as well just share a room.
Strahg's like, okay.
Just the one, and I will put the 5 silver on the table.
Again, takes the 5 silver. You do see her, like, eyes open, like, a little bit wider as she takes in your coins. But she takes them, puts them in the little bag behind the bar.
Would we be able to get a bath and perhaps perform after the bath and give Rictavio the night off?
Please give him the night off. Of course. We can, it'll be a simple bath in the sense of we'll be drawing water from the well and using it to fill a tub. But we can do that for you.
So long as it's warm and I can get clean, it will be the best thing ever. Thank you.
In that case, then I will get my husband on that right away. And she opens up a door that leads into like this back area. And you just hear her calling out, Erwin! Erwin! He'll be right out. As she just like leans back out the door frame to look at you.
Alright. Looks at Austra like, well, I guess you'd like to go back to your drink for a few more minutes?
Yep, I'm sure she'll let us know whenever my bath is ready. I just kind of like, as we go back towards the table, just whisper, we really need to do well because I have no more silver. I have 6 copper to my name now.
I have some silver and a gold piece still.
DM, Saya's also gonna go up to reserve a room for when one of the twins is done, and she'll give over a gold piece.
Okay. So, handing over the gold, she said, like, is this you paying for just the one room?
I guess I'll pay for 2 if someone else wants one.
Well, what I will do is I'll take the money as if you're paying for 2. I'll hand you the 2 keys, and then if you give one back to me, I will give you your change.
She's just gonna side-eye back over the table. What a rat. Of course. And goes, and she just kind of nods. So she goes and walks over and just slams the key down to Voldus.
That was a bit dramatic, but what can I do for you?
If you don't use it, you pay me back the half. And removes her hand to show the key.
He kind of looks at it with a little bit of, like, surprise. Well, I didn't expect this. Thank you.
All I have is gold. Otherwise, I would have bought it for myself. But knowing as there's 2, might as well save money since we all need it.
I mean, if you're that upset about it, I can always pay you back.
And she's just gonna sit down and drink her wine and just ignore him.
Val will kind of look over to TS, who I assume has just been enjoying his milk the whole time, and just... Well, what about you? Do you want a room, or would you like to share with somebody?
I don't mind, as long as I'm not sharing with the twins.
Val will just kind of snort into his wine.
Tell me why. I'm really curious.
He just looks over at Azazel and just goes back to his own drink.
What, Kent's got your tongue? Or milk, goat, something's got your tongue?
I hope not.
Why don't you want to stay with the twins?
They make me uncomfortable.
In what ways?
Everywhere.
You know what? I never heard truer statement than that. Bravo. Bravo,
My
kid.
heart's broken now.
Right?
Don't worry, I'll keep the scary women away from you. For now. I might not be here tomorrow, but we'll see.
Where do you plan on going tomorrow?
Don't look too excited. Calm down. Calm down.
Where did you plan on going tomorrow?
I don't know. I could be dead tonight. Now it means I don't wake up tomorrow, so therefore I'm good.
Very interesting.
That
What was
does,
that?
That does remind me.
Mind you,
While
what,
they're-
you're planning to kill me?
Just quick, while you're talking, Saya's gonna go back up to the bartender.
Val said, "You're very interesting," to Azazel, as he's like, "I might be dead and I don't have to wake up tomorrow," and he's just like, "Ha."
How's that interesting? It solves a lot of issues, doesn't it? Well, except for your case. Your case just kind of makes new issues.
Just a tad. But I am a very special case, as he just downs the rest of his fucking wine.
You want another?
That would be absolutely
Can
fantastic.
you
Thank you.
get drunk?
Well, I have gotten tipsy before, and I believe I've gotten drunk because there was that one time. It was like a couple of years ago, and I can't remember much of it, so I think so. But I did hang out with that. You know what? Never mind. Yes, I can. And it's
Perfect. I'm just gonna slide over another glass.
I don't intend to get absolutely
Never said.
plastered,
I never
but-
said you were. I simply asked a question, and you answered it, and I slid over another glass. Don't read more into it than there already is.
I mean, it's free wine. I'll take it.
That's not free. I paid for it.
I don't
I don't care. It's fine. It's great. It's great. I need to get you a room. Looks to the lady who we've been transporting. You need a place to stay. I will be back. I'll go to the bar, which someone's already there, but
Yeah, probably probably would Saya, because Saya went up to talk to the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're before me.
Yeah, bartender looks at you expectantly as you walk up.
Is there a magic shop around here? Or does anyone happen to know the spell sending around here?
There's definitely a moment as you can see her thinking over what you've just said. There isn't many people here that do magic, partake in magic. It's not something that is well known around here. It's not something that is commonplace. I mean, of course, there may be people around that are able to do magic, but that doesn't mean that they own a shop. And if you're wanting magic, I would probably head further west to Crest. From the sounds of it, they have an abbot there who's able to do incredible things.
And just a small yet frustrated sigh escapes her lips. I don't even know if the group's gonna want to go there. And I have my own business. But I said I would help this out first. Alright. Thank you kindly. She's just gonna turn and start walking away.
So, Saya and Azazel would pass each other as Sayer is heading back to the bar.
What's up, beautiful? As I just pass by.
Keep walking.
I'm gonna break you. What's up, beautiful? I need a room.
And how many rooms would you be paying for?
Just one.
Well, then that would be the one Electrum for you.
Very nice. Do you possibly have change?
I can do change if that is something that you need.
That would be most kind of you. I will pass over a gold.
And she hands you back an Electrum.
Thank you, madam. Is that almost like floor, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Thank you very much. You are most appreciative. You are most appreciative. I can't talk. The wine tended me faster than I thought it was going to. Enjoy the rest of your night as much as you can. And I will head back over and I'll put the key in front of madame and like, here you go. Have a place to sleep tonight. If you need it, I can get you a couple more days.
Oh, I have my own supply of money. I appreciate it, though.
Well, then you have 1 night discount.
I would say, again, TS, but then Aurora and Astra, because you've just been sat at the table not really doing anything. I'd say that probably covers Valdis as well, since it's been Sayer and Azazel that have realistically been going back and forth from the bar quite often. So yeah, they're busy with their own things. You see this barrel of a man come out of what you're assuming is the kitchen with 2 buckets that are attached to this long wooden yoke, almost like if you think like traditional German milkmaid. Incredibly broad shoulder and chest, wearing a similar style of clothing to the barkeep, in the sense of it's still definitely common clothing, but it's a little bit more refined. There's a little bit more design to it. He's wearing gloves covering his hands, and he seems to be wearing the kind of cloak that attaches at your shoulder, and then the string holding it to you goes under the opposite arm. His beard is magnificent, accumulating at a point that reaches probably like mid-chest. The grey streaking in it almost forming the design of an arrowhead across the base of the beard, attached to a mustache that also drips down into the mass of hair. He has the same like white streaks as the barkeep, putting his age probably again late 30s, early 40s. He looks over your group with an appraising eye, but a warm smile, as he goes out to what you assume to get the water from the well.
Val will just mutter under his breath as he sips his wine, "Now that is a fine man."
But no, as you've been going back and forth to the bar, getting keys, getting wine, whatever else, he's done now multiple trips up and down the stairs with these 2 like water pails. And it's at this point that he comes over to the table, politely clears his throat, and just goes, I am sorry to interrupt your conversations, but I was told to inform you that your bath was ready.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
I looked at my sister and like nudge her, and I looked at a guy like, and if you don't understand what she means, she just goes, Can you tip him?
Yeah, she'll reach into her bag and produce 5 silver for a tip.
Yeah, you hold out the money, and he's just kind of looking down at it, being like, "What are you wanting? Something else?"
Oh, this is to thank you for the bath.
No need to thank me for something that is basic common courtesy. Oh, and I'm assuming that you're going to want food bringing to your room?
If it's not too much trouble, that would be wonderful.
Of course not. Basic food is included in the price of you buying a room, and he gestures to everyone that has like a really obvious key out.
I really like this place.
Do I?
So I will go get food for you. Unless you are wanting to upgrade the standard meal, and then that obviously will be extra money on top. But it is not much.
I'm alright with the standard meal. She's still kind of just holding the silver in her hand, like he can take it if he wants to, but like, are you sure? Are you sure it's here for you, buddy?
You know, he's definitely not trying to be rude, but he essentially just ignores your outstretched hands as he just looks around the table and is like, "I will bring your food out now for you." And heads back off into what you're assuming is the kitchen.
Do you want to bathe first, or do you want to eat first?
I'm alright bathing first. It'll
Okay,
be...
go on then.
She's gonna head for the stairs then to go get her bath.
For the rest of you, the food is brought out, and it's a large cauldron of soup that is just rested in the middle of the table and bowls put out in front of you all. And then a small loaf of bread is placed on a plate in front of you next to the bowl for the soup, and is just laid out for you.
Val would probably give a little bit of a flirtatious smile and thank you very kindly, sir. What is your name again?
He picks up on the smile and just kind of chuckles. "My name is Erwin. Erwin Martikov. I am the owner of the Blue Water Inn."
Very, very nice to meet you, sir. Thank you very much. And just
Thank
gestures to the table.
This looks delicious. Thank you.
Of course. If you need anything else, you just call for my name, or you can call for Danica. And he points to the woman behind the bar, who gives you a wave.
Do they both have any wedding bands on?
Now that you're looking, yes, they do.
That is so funny.
As soon as he walks away, I just look at Valdis and I go, "He's married."
And you just see him kind of like pout a little bit. I figured after he said his name. But that's fine. I can admire from afar.
Poor Val.
But no, before he like properly leaves, Erwin goes, and of course, if neither of us are about, you can always badger the boys. And he gestures to the two children who have been running around this entire time.
What are their names?
Oh, the eldest is Brom. And the youngest is Bray.
Very wonderful names. And Val kind of just like tips his head and sips his wine a bit.
He looks like he's going to turn and move away. And then he looks at the table again. May I? And he gestures to, like, an open seat that's there at the table.
Of course.
Nods.
He starts making this big show about ladling soup into all your bowls as if like he's just serving you food, but at the same time he's speaking to you all almost in a kind of conspiratorial kind of whisper, like he's keeping his voice low, trying to make sure that no one else hears him. My supply of wine is nearly gone. The next shipment is overdue. I'll give you what you seek if you bring me my wine. The vineyard and winery is a few miles west of here. You just need to follow the old Slavic road and the signs to the Wizard of Wines. Normally I wouldn't worry, but the fact is, the only thing keeping the people in this town from rioting is this wine. And we are almost out.
I look at the 2 bottles and I feel really bad.
No. You paid, and that's all that matters. But what I'm saying is that we're almost out. I'm not expecting you to leave tonight. But if you could go within the next few days just to see what has happened at the winery. If you come back with some wine, you will have free room and board.
I have a question.
Of course.
Why do the townsfolk want to riot?
Tensions here are almost like a boiling kettle, simmering under the surface, bubbling, just waiting for something to make it explode.
Yes, nod. Understanding.
What are they wanting to riot against?
Well, there's the general oppression of Strahd. We feel it even out here.
Oh.
Well, he is able to travel as he wishes. Just because we are here does not mean we are safe. And then there is our burgomaster. He is convinced that if we stay positive in this plight, that we will be able to repel Strahd's magic, that Strahd will not be able to touch us if we are positive. We have been having back-to-back festivals for months now. There's another one I've heard tale of, the Festival of the Blazing Sun or so much. You know the last...
Oh, 4 days.
You know the last festival we had? The Wolf Head Jamboree was only a couple of days ago.
Vel will kind of just lift an eyebrow, like, well, I've never heard positive vibes being able to keep a vampire at bay, but maybe I'm wrong.
It's a forced positivity. It's keeping people busy for the sake of being busy.
So they don't have to think about how much danger.
Now, do not misunderstand me. A lot of the perils of the night you are safe from in Vallaki. You do not have to worry about what is out on the road. But that does not mean that there is not evil within these walls.
Valdez kind of nods and kind of looks over the table, kind of like looking to see everybody's reaction. Kind of just like, well, we've helped everybody else so far, so they're probably going to say yes.
As I said, today is almost over. I do not expect anything from you tonight. You should stay here, drink, eat, sleep. I'm assuming you traveled a lot of today.
A little bit, yes. Quite an arduous 6 hours, but you know, what is traveling nowadays? It's kind of like a pained smile as he like crosses his legs and his foot hits the table.
Saya's just gonna look at Valdis and go, so far, all I've noticed about you was that you protest a lot, you pout, and then you do whatever this is right now.
Well, I'm the princess. Of course I do that. As he kind of just like looks at his nails and looks over to you with like a little bit of like a smirk as he's trying to egg you on.
Your boots aren't exactly that clean for a princess.
I mean, just kind of looks down. I'm trying my best with what I have. I mean, considering we came all the way over here and there was dirt and mud and... Have you seen my shoes? As
Yes,
he just looks at
princess.
you like with a sad face.
Yes, princess, have you heard of a dry brush?
I don't particularly have one at the moment, but if you're offering...
You could not afford my prices.
Ouch. As he kind of like pouts a little bit. You can see like he doesn't actually mean it, it's all in jest. But he kind of is just like, and I thought we were friends.
We are. But this is business.
Oh, I see. I see the kind of business you're in. And he kind of just like puts his glass down a little bit. And he like leans his elbows on the table and he just looks at you like, I see. You want to make friends with everybody, get everybody close, and then you tear them down just for your convenience. You can see his little like his lip starting to wobble as he's having trouble not smiling.
You're dramatic too.
Us?
No, I would have never guessed.
It was at this accusation that TS is just gonna start laughing.
Hey, DM.
Mm-hmm.
While this is kind of going on, can I leave and just kind of do a perimeter look around the tavern and make sure there's nothing like kind of going on, eyes watching anything like that?
Of course. Make a perception check for me.
That's rough, buddy.
Mm. So you get up and you start doing like a little bit of perimeter check, walking past a couple of tables, and you are tripped by something, and you fall flat on your face.
Perfect.
And as you look up, you see that one of the sons, the younger one, Bray, was trying to spook you and instead ended up just kind of like tackling you as he just like went for a shin.
Okay. If I notice that he was trying to, I'm going to just start screaming in like bloody fear and run out the front of the tavern, just like trying to make the kid seem like he did a good job.
There's definitely a moment of, huh? And then the massive smile like comes over this kid's face as he just runs over to his mum's skirts and just like pulling them excitedly. And all of you across the tavern just hear, yes, Bray, I saw Bray. You did so good, Bray. Like the kind of thing that a parent does to a kid, just like, okay, now shut up.
I'll still chill outside for a little bit, just to kind of get the lay of who's going by. It's been a while since I've been in this town, so I just want to make sure, see the type of faces, see what's kind of going on, make sure everything seems to just be going up and up. Even with a nat one, I'll stay out there just because I feel like I'm able to do something.
You see that as night is beginning to fall here, a couple more people are heading towards the tavern to like join in for like an evening of drinking. Two men that you recognize are starting to come towards the tavern, and that immediately like sets your hackles on edge, like your spider sense is tickling, because you know these men and they're not good news.
In what way?
The Watcher brothers, Nikolai and Karl, are known drunks who fully believe that they are untouchable because their mother, Madame Watcher, is one of the oldest established families in Vallaki, one of the powerhouses and the richest family in the area. So the boys believe that they can get up to a lot because they have their mother's protection.
Are they the type of ones that think they can get any type of girl and all that bullshit? Okay.
From what you remember,
Good.
they're realistically cowards. They won't approach Irina if she's surrounded by a group of people. Like, she's probably safety in numbers kind of thing.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that they're not going to disrupt your night, though.
Would they be someone who'd recognize me?
Potentially not. Again, with how many nights they spend drinking, it's a wonder they remember anything.
Gotcha. I'll take note of that. I'll try to kind of keep my head down, so I'll try to make sure I'm not noticed, and then I'll just hang out by the entrance door, just kind of keeping an eye on everything.
No, definitely. So, you are left alone by Owen. He realizes that you don't necessarily need the person that's meant to be in the kitchen hovering around you the entire night. But he does give you a smile. Any questions? Danica can answer any of them, or you can come find me afternoon tomorrow. Whichever is easier.
Thank you very kindly for your hospitality.
He gives a little bow. Leaves you to it. For the sake of time, we'll say that both the twins have washed and bathed.
Thank you.
Come back down, found soup and bread ready for them, still warm.
Yum.
Would have told Aurora about the vineyard thing and to keep it on the down low.
Okay. Yeah. Aurora would probably hurry through her dinner so that she can, like, tune her lyre and get everything, like, ready to play.
No, completely.
Because she is incredibly excited to actually, like, play for people.
I guess Alstra would be limbering up. If we're gonna do tricks and music. Alright, what are we doing first? Are you playing music and I'm doing some tricks, or are we both playing, or what? I don't think fire is a good idea in here.
Neither. I guess we can, start big, as they say, with the dancing and the tricks, and when you get tired, we can switch over to both playing together.
Okay. So when we're talking about, like, stretching and stuff, it's not just, like, the stereotypical, like, when you stretch for, like, physical education class. I don't know what the state version is, but we call it PE over here. Okay. But it's, like, when you see a dancer in the studio like stretching. So it's like close to the head, like almost bending in half to like stretch the back. She also did come down in her acrobatic costume, so it is easier. Do we have to make rolls now?
Of course, you didn't think I was going to let you get away with this just for.
Not at all.
Well, shit. I'm guessing it's performance.
Yeah, because you are performing to a crowd.
That's a dirty 20 for Aurora.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
Yes!
Jesus Christ, that's your second one of the night. What the fuck?
Okay.
So I went from a nat 1 to a nat 20. Let's do this.
Someone that has really quick access to the player's handbook. Because I
Yep.
do not. I need to know the differences between, like, the types of lifestyle. So it'll be in, like, the money section.
Okay. So under what chunk of the book would that be?
I literally think it's in the bit that's like, I'm trying to remember where it would be. I'll probably be able to find it on Google, to be fair.
Creating a character, playing the game. Oh, personality, no equipment. Playing the game, adventuring, combat.
There we go, expenses.
I don't see that yet.
No, I found it, you're all good.
Okay.
Okay, so that per day is how much you spend on that. So if you get enough, because I have a table in front of me that's like, oh yeah, you get this for a week. Okay. So you both have different tip jars in front of you. While it's still like a joint performance, you are technically being graded separately.
Okay.
So then we have a 20 for Aurora. So once everything has been totaled up, added after the performance, all the patrons are very happy with the performance. There's clapping, there's a little bit of whistling. You wouldn't notice, like Azazel, that the two the two Watcher brothers are like doing like the really loud whistle that you do for a dog, but like not just one long note, it's like the cat call kind of whistle.
Over that.
Aurora, you at the end of it would get 14 golds worth. And I'm not going to do the calculator of like how much that is in copper, how much that is in silver. Just put that you have 14 gold.
Fine with me.
And then Austra, you also get the 14 gold. But at the end of it, Danica comes up to the two of you and hands you like a small little purse and just goes, for any expenses that you may have. A pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
While their performance is going on, TS is going to go outside to see if Azazel is still nearby.
I'll leave it up
I
to...
am. I'm at the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say, I'll leave it up to you whether you came inside or not.
I'm still at the kind of... Is the front door a door? Is this a saloon type of door? Like, what's the front door kind of like?
Oh no, the double... I was gonna say, it's a full-on double door that shuts and opens.
Is the doors left open or do they close?
They close, unless someone props them open.
If no one cares, I will leave one propped open. Now kind of just be on the other side of it so I can kind of see the street and what's going on inside.
Mm-hmm. It's not a particularly cold night, so no one seems to be arguing too much, but you get the impression that if it was more windy or it was raining, someone would look to you to shut it.
Understood. But yeah, that's where I'll be.
So we'll just take a seat, not next to Azazel, just probably about like 5 to 6 feet apart.
6 feet apart because they're not gay. What's up, kid? Don't like crowds?
Not really. No.
Yeah, me either.
Are you okay?
Odd question to ask. In what way?
In general, maybe?
Do you want the answer that I'm supposed to tell a kid or the real answer?
Preferably the real one.
Absolutely not. Don't grow up, kid. For as long as you can.
Fortunately, it will.
Yeah. I like says for as long as you can. And Kim? Find a girl, or whoever you're into. Settle down. Find a nice little decent place, piece of property. Go property, don't go big house. And just enjoy life. One day at a time.
I ask why you're not okay?
Why am I not okay? Let's see. He kind of puts his foot up again, kind of gets the wall, kind of leans back, and kind of just looks out and about. That's a good question, kid. Where are you from?
Nowhere near here.
No shit. Where you from?
What the place is called. The
Nah, I don't
general
remember.
area of D&D lore.
What'd you do before this? How did you get here? You said you're 13?
Yeah, I was traveling. I ran into that group in a small town trying to keep moving. They needed help with werewolves. So
You're traveling as a 13-year-old by yourself.
we're not changing this conversation. I was still asked. You haven't answered the question.
I never did, but now I'm interested in you, little man. What are you okay?
For now, yes.
For now. Oh, what's is it the goat's milk? Is that what's keeping you sane? Is that like a drug for you?
Oh, no. I just want to make sure you're alright. This group is small and nice, and I just want to keep it that way.
Look, I get it. I'm not gonna fuck up what you guys have, alright? Don't have to worry about me ruining what she got. If it gets to that point, you tell me, and I'll walk with no questions asked. Deal?
Two ground rules.
Yeah, let's hear. Then it
Don't
says
die.
accept them. Just accept them. Or no, hold on. I'll hear them. I won't accept them. I might accept. Where are they?
Don't die and don't get anyone killed.
No. Neither of those I have control over. So no bueno.
Fair enough.
It's not fair. It's just what it is, kid.
Just try your best then to follow them.
There's been a smile on his face this whole time, hands still kind of either at his hips or kind of like behind his hands, just kind of. You're far enough away where you know he wants to just kind of clap your shoulder, but he can't, and he just kind of understands why you've kept that space. You've seen some shit, haven't you, kid?
You still haven't answered my question before.
Of why I'm not okay?
If you don't answer it, it's alright. I understand.
You understand? Man, look at you talking all adult-like. Kid, there's a lot of things of why an individual could not be okay. But you put a smile on your face, you keep yourself standing up tall, no matter how many times you get knocked down, well, there's got to be silver lining something, right? I'll do my best to make sure no one else gets killed. I'll do my best not to get myself killed. I like living. As much as I am not okay, I like living. There's a lot to live for, a lot to achieve, a lot to see, especially with those two. It kind of points to the twins. If you haven't grown up yet, kid, they will put a pair on you real fast. I can guarantee you on that one. And they're probably the best two to be able to do that for you.
Right now?
Well, no, I don't. Don't worry. Puberty will come. Yeah, good. You're good. Don't worry about me. You're set. Like I said, if I fuck things up, you say so. I'll leave without any questions asked. But as of right now, the job is done. I got nothing to do, so I'll tag along for a little while longer till I get bored or till you say otherwise, and we'll just take this shindig day by day and make sure it just keeps going wherever it's going. You don't like me smiling and being real relaxed and chill, but like you guys, make you guys really uneasy, don't I?
It's not because you're relaxed and easygoing. Because it feels like you try to be relaxed and easygoing.
Good perspective. Let's say I'm moving forward with who I am at the moment. Better to try than to let go.
It's not. And then just stand up and start walking back inside.
I clap you on your back as you walk in.
God damn it!
So boom. Good, kid. Go get yourself another glass of milk on me.
I'll take another seat back at the table.
I have been keeping an eye on those two brothers this entire time. You are muted, DM.
For good reason. That is fair. I'll say that because you've been stood at the door this entire time, Azazel, at some point as the sun begins to set and it begins to head more into dusk, Rictavio, the half-elf, does come past you with a plate of food. He gives you a nod of greeting and then heads right. No, because the door's there. He heads left, heading more towards, like, the center of town.
Do you give a nod?
He doesn't say anything else, it's just that thing of greeting.
Returned.
And I'll say that the twins' performance probably goes on for a while. So by the time that the performance is done, Rictavio is coming back. And although he still has the plate of food, it's now empty.
Take a mental note, but I won't do anything.
He congratulates the twins on a successful performance. Almost, you would know that he hadn't seen the performance as Aetzel, but for everyone else, it just seems like he just watched the performance and it was a really good show to him. But he bids everyone good night and heads upstairs to his room. The rest of the night goes as you would expect and assume. Certain people get rowdy, some people get drunk, some people leave as soon as it hits dusk wanting to head home. It's a mix of vibes, a mix of feelings. Eventually, Owen kicks the Watcher brothers out so that they can stumble home in the darkness. With a little bit of, I guess it's exasperation, tiredness. Owen kind of shakes himself out. But wishes you all a good night and a good night's rest before heading up to bed himself. Shutting the doors. Trying to keep the doors locked up for the night at the very least. You led up to your rooms. Nothing... Oh, what's the word? Nothing amazing. Nothing that would blow your mind. Just simple guest rooms. You do, however, notice that on multiple of the guest rooms, there are balconies. So you are able to look out. Oh, so the balconies that lead from the rooms actually look down onto the tap room below. Which is a little bit interesting. You'd expect it to be the other way around, where the balcony looks out over the town, but it actually gives you a way to look down onto the tap room below.
So no basking in the moonlight tonight. Got it.
Unfortunately not.
Sad. Belle would probably just make a mental note to ask in the morning for a bath, and he'll just take off his makeup and get ready to go to bed, say a prayer to Madame, and go to sleep, I guess.
Alright then. Is there anything anyone else is doing before we head to bed?
Yeah. I would say, just for the sake of time, that Saya was probably the last to be, just because she wanted to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in that vulnerable moment she's mourning for Caleb. Like, cue the dramatic putting her head back and just like deep sigh of, I just lost one of my good friends, an ally. But like after that, she'll like wash her face and finish everything, and then she'll go to the room and look completely normal again.
Mm-hmm.
Aurora would use her one mirror to do a little prayer to Suni, and then try to start on a couple of quick sketches in her book. Trying to get down like the memory from the waterfall earlier, and then also starting a rough sketch of Azazel.
Mm-hmm.
Liam, is there a way to get on to the roof of this establishment?
Let me check.
Only if you fly. Just
We
kidding.
don't know. I can do that.
Just kidding.
I'll fly into your heart.
Gross.
Hey, you work for Suni, alright? You can't say shit.
I don't work for Suni.
That's what it means to worship Suni. You work for Suni. That's actually a cool character concept.
I don't like the thought of that.
I do too. I gotta work fine. Come into this room. Tired. I'll put in 12 hours already. I'm sorry.
Well, that's really funny then, because that way then I have a map.
Oh.
I was gonna say, there's a warlock idea for you.
No, literally.
Celestial Warlock.
Alright, put in 15. Another hour? I'm on overtime? I better get some overtime for this shit. Sorry, yes.
At this point in time, is Suni a pimp?
Yes.
Oh my
That's
fucking
exactly
god.
what Suni is. That's
Celestial
exactly,
Warlock will make you see the stars.
exactly what Suni is. Suni's a pimp. You've heard it here first, folks.
To answer your question, there are a set of stairs outside that lead up to the second floor, and it's just another way to access the bedrooms. So you can go straight up the outside doors to just get into the bed chambers. But you could technically try to scale from that outside stairs and try to get to the roof, but it would fully be an athletics check, just trying to haul your body up to the roof.
Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics, because there isn't any like parkouring here. It is literally just you hefting your body weight.
Nah, I ain't a strong boy, but I am, but I'm not. Let's go ahead and I'll just I'll just chill in the dining room the whole time. Just find a booth
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just kind of slump up there.
No, that's easy enough done.
In that case, then, as soon as Aurora's like gone to sleep and stuff, because Alstra wants to leave the room and go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's gonna try and be as quiet as she can. To go out of the room downstairs. And I'm assuming you have to go through the tavern to like get outside.
No, because because of the stairs that lead up straight up to the second floor from the outside, you just need to walk through the hallway to get to those stairs.
Do we know about those stairs though? That's the other thing though.
You saw them as you were coming up to the tavern. You wouldn't necessarily know that that's where they lead out to, but a little bit of exploring would do it. Or if you're not wanting to explore, then yeah, just heading out the door of the tavern.
Yeah, just head out the door at the tavern.
Okay.
Gonna take off her holy symbol and actually look at it.
For the first time.
Yep.
So you knew that before this adventure, your holy symbol was a front-facing face with voluminous hair like coming out from around it, almost like a halo. That same beautiful face is still on your holy symbol, but it now occupies the bottom third of the circle as it looks up to a moon.
Is it still gold, or has it shifted in color as well?
The face is still gold. The moon, however, is silver.
Okay. She is going to look at it. She's gonna also look up at the moon. Can we see the moon, or is it too overcasted?
Yeah, you can see. It's a half moon at the moment.
Does it resemble the shape of the moon on there, or is that moon more of a crescent instead of like a half?
If anything, the moon on your pendant is a full moon, and then the face of the woman has been put in front of it. So it looks like a woman is looking up at the moon.
Okay. I'm assuming you two worked together on this? Or you, decided to butt heads? And I'm not sure. Could really use some guidance from either of you. A sign, something. Nope. Okay, just stumble through this life blindly then, I guess. Puts the holy symbol back on. Takes one last look at the moon. Sighs deeply and walks back in and goes to bed.
Make a religion check for me.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you're about to turn around to go back to bed, you hear this cawing in the night. Taken by the noise, you turn and see that there are multiple ravens perched on top of the tavern, looking down at you. They seem to be observing you, taking you in, watching this moment of vulnerability for you, almost intruding on a private moment. But then one of them, seeing you observe them, takes off and begins to fly southeast. Heading in the direction of the windmill that you passed on the way here.
Madame or Suni or whoever or both. I'm gonna take that as a sign. Thanks. And we'll quietly go back in. Does Azazel snore? Like, is Azazel asleep or?
It's really hard, but he's incredibly still. It's not snoring, but he's incredibly still.
I don't know what check that would be.
That is something that I'm gonna need to message you really quickly. Oh, actually, no. It'll just be quicker if Ashley, you head into the whisper room for me.
I'm going to the whisper room.
Mm-hmm.
Copy that. Me a second day in, already getting a whisper.
Oh no, look at you go.
I
The
know.
beauty of this moment is you're unconscious. I'm assuming you're asleep.
Yeah, I am. I'm just perfect. He's just a very still sleeper.
No, but I mean, in that case, then your face is not there. Because
I
you're
thought it stays there.
unconscious.
Oh, valid. Alright, so because I did mistake that part, if I may, you can, I can describe this to you, it's up to you. I'll have, like, you know how you have that vest and it kind of has the hood? If it'll be kind of slumped over, the hood kind of hanging over, so it's not, like, just completely obvious, unless you want to retract that and where it's obvious that my face is not there, it's up to you.
Well, no, I wanted to give you the chance to know what was going on.
Yeah, no, I'll describe it a little bit more. Thank you for the opportunity to do so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll head back into general then.
Copy that. To add a little bit more to that, Ray, he's incredibly still. You can't see the face as that vest that has the hood up that hasn't been up. You notice now it's a very, very deep hood, and it's actually kind of hanging up over his head and like kind of down towards his neck. It's almost like a complete cover.
Okay, so I wouldn't be able to see like anything.
You see, like kind of like. No, not really. This is the first time where you can see his hands are in his pockets and the hood is up.
We'll just whisper really silently then, like, if you're awake, have a good night.
Do I hear that, DM?
Well, if you're asleep, then no.
No, I don't hear it then.